Universal Studios Florida. Explained. Universal Studios Florida is one of two theme parks located at the Universal Orlando Resort. Fittingly, the park is located in Orlando, Florida, USA, and shouldn't be confused with its neighbouring park, Universal's Islands of Adventure. The two parks, as well as a range of hotels and other attractions, make up the entirety of the Universal Orlando Resort. As of 2017, the park is host to roughly 10 million visitors, as well as 18 attractions, including 4 roller coasters. Universal Studios Florida opened to the public on the 7th of June 1990. It became the second Universal park after Universal Studios Hollywood, which debuted in 1964. In 1986, Universal announced that it would be constructing a theme park from the ground up in Orlando. With a planned opening date of December 1989, the company got to work. Unfortunately, after only 2 years, the launch of the park was delayed until the 1st of May 1990. This then changed to the 7th of June several months later. At the same time, Walt Disney World, located nearby to the Universal Orlando Resort, announced the development of Hollywood Studios. This meant that both companies were constructing theme parks centered around films and movies. Sadly, when the park finally opened to the public, further issues occurred. Many of the rides were still in their testing phases, leaving little open to the public. The attractions that were operating often closed due to large-scale technical problems. This included all 3 of the park's major attractions at the time: Confrontation, Earthquake, the big one, and Jaws. Fortunately, most of the issues were fixed, allowing for the second operating year to be successful. In the early 90s, Universal Studios Florida was separated into several themed areas, some of which included the Front Lot, Production Central, New York, Expo Center, and Hollywood. Many of these areas still exist today, but have changed drastically over time. The park has continuously added new attractions to the various sections throughout its history. 1991 saw the debut of Back to the Future the Ride in the World's Expo Center, as well as Fright Nights, a seasonal Halloween event. Now known as Halloween Horror Nights, during this time, the park is transformed into a haven of spooky attractions. Guests can enter a multitude of terrifying haunted houses and scare zones, all of which are scattered around the Florida park. These new introductions were swiftly followed by the announcement of a second park and the formation of what is now the Universal Orlando Resort. The late 90s resulted in the introduction of the recently closed attraction Terminator 2 3D Battle Across Time, as well as the opening of a new children's area within the park, Woody Woodpecker's Kid Zone. Interestingly, Universal Studios Florida's first roller coaster, Woody Woodpecker's Nut House Coaster, a Vekoma Jr. coaster, was constructed within this area. Another attraction still operating today, E.T. Adventure, can also be found within this kid zone. The decade came to its end with the debut of Universal Orlando Resort's second theme park, Universal's Islands of Adventure. For the 2000 season, the park opened Men in Black: Alien Attack to the public and also celebrated its 10th anniversary. Several years later, Universal Studios Florida introduced its second roller coaster to guests, Revenge of the Mummy: The Ride. During the attraction, which opened in 2004, riders can experience 3 separate launches as they attempt to evade the mummy and its curse. The ride has consistently ranked as one of the best indoor roller coasters in the world due to its impressive storyline and theming. The season after, the park introduced Fear Factor Live, a brand new show in which members of the public are tasked with various stunts. Several guests from around the park are chosen to compete, eventually resulting in a winner for that day. Leading up to the end of the decade, Universal Studios Florida opened a number of new large-scale attractions. Firstly, Disaster, a major motion picture ride starring you, debuted in 2008, allowing guests to experience how special effects are filmed for use in movies. In the same year, the Simpson ride, a large-scale motion simulator, replaced the former Back to the Future attraction. The decade came to its end with the construction and opening of the park's third roller coaster, Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket. Rip Ride Rocket is a standard sit-down coaster featuring a vertical chain lift and a non-inverting loop. Throughout the attraction, which was constructed by Mara Rides in 2009, guests can listen to music of their own choice. As they board the coaster, riders choose music from predefined lists, which will then be played through speakers in the trains throughout the experience. Universal Studios continued to expand its Florida park into the new decade, with additions such as Despicable Me Minion Mayhem, a 4D simulator ride in 2012, and Transformers the Ride, a tracked dark ride in 2013. However, arguably the park's largest expansion took place only a single year later, in 2014. At this point in time, mid-year, Universal Studios Florida opened Diagon Alley as part of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Not only did this expansion result in the construction of a new roller coaster, but also a full-scale working replica of the Hogwarts Express train, which transports guests from one Universal Orlando park to the other. Riders can board the train in the Florida park and travel to Islands of Adventure, or vice versa. Within Diagon Alley can be found King's Cross Station, which houses the classic Hogwarts Express, as well as the Gringotts Bank. Inside of the bank can be found the park's newest roller coaster, Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts. The attraction, which was manufactured by Intamin, is an enclosed dark ride featuring many storytelling scenes and a drive tire launch. Guests embark on an adventure through the vaults of Gringotts, meeting many characters from the Harry Potter world along the way. The park's most recent year, 2017, saw yet another new large-scale addition. Race Through New York, starring Jimmy Fallon, opened to guests, replacing the former ride, Twister Ride It Out. The attraction, heavily centered around Jimmy Fallon, is a motion simulator ride, allowing guests to race the famous Tonight Show host. The ride also features a virtual queuing system, in which there is no waiting line. To join the queue, riders collect a card. Guests will then enter the attraction building and board the ride at the time stated on the card. 2018 will also result in yet another new ride at the park. Fast and Furious Supercharged, a studio tram tour style dark ride, is set to open in spring of next year. Apart from Halloween Horror Nights, Universal Studios Florida is also home to several other seasonal events. These include Rock the Universe, Mardi Gras, holidays at Universal Orlando, and finally, a celebration of Harry Potter. Some of these holidays, including holidays at Universal Orlando and a celebration of Harry Potter, occur across both of the Orlando parks. Due to the park's constant evolution and innovation when it comes to constructing new rides, Universal Studios Florida has become one of the most visited attractions in the world. The popular film themes, large number of high-quality rides, and general world-class experience has allowed the park to become a favourite for both enthusiasts and movie fans across the globe.